Hey guys, welcome back to the Fiddle Me This podcast. Today we're going to go through some interesting topics. I don't think there's that much of a plan. We just have a few subjects that we're going to talk through. I'm here. I'm Josh. I'm joined by James. Say hi, James.
Yo.
And Andrea. Say
hey.
what it do. Okay. So yeah, we're here. We're just gonna talk about some I guess they're kind of controversial. But
I think the one big one we want to talk about is controversial because it's really over-publicized some of the problems with it.
Yeah, well, I guess technically they're both controversial, but it's just kind of like our take on, or our opinions.
Well, one of them is a factual thing, but that's okay.
Well, they're both factual, kind of.
Well,
I guess. But
yeah,
but
people have other opinions on it anyways.
Yeah, well, it's our opinions, but they're based in fact. Based in fact.
So the first thing we're going to be talking about is vaping and smoking, and why vaping is so much better than smoking. And when I say so much better, I mean it's not bad for you, like at all.
Well, like to the extent
of any knowledge that we've been able to study in the current day.
Like, let's put it this way: juice is bad for you. That's basically how bad vaping is for you.
Vaping,
because like the sugar.
The only thing that's actually bad in vapes currently is the nicotine, and nicotine is about as bad for you as caffeine is.
Yeah.
So vaping regularly is about the same as drinking coffee regularly.
Yeah, drinking coffee.
For how bad it is for you.
Also, you can get vapes without nicotine. So
yeah, you can get them without nicotine, and then that's even better.
And
but the idea
point,
is that you can wean yourself off of it.
Yeah.
Start with higher dose and lower yourself down.
But yeah, anyways, why don't you're kind of like the...
Well, I work at the vape store, right? So.
Yeah.
By the way, welcome to the Fiddle Me This podcast, and I just wanted to say, you should come down to Dragon Vape in Fergus. We have a great store. We've got a lot of good products, and if you're interested in stopping smoking, that is probably the best way to do it.
Wow, nice plug there, James.
I had to throw it in there.
But yeah, so yeah, you can kind of take the lead on this.
So the thing with smoking, one of the biggest reasons that's actually into it at all, is not what's in it. It's the fact that what's in it is getting burned. Because the burning of it is what changes it to be cancer causing. So if you were to do a cigarette without burning it, if that was possible, it wouldn't be bad for you. Just like anything that you burn, essentially, it has cancer-causing agents in it. Like if you burn a steak and you eat the steak, it will give you cancer as fast as smoking would if you had it as regularly as smoking does. Most people don't.
Yeah.
Because, well, that's a shit ton of steak.
Well, yeah, tobacco's still not good in your system.
Tobacco's not good in your system, but it's not nearly as bad when it's not like the same way. Now, that isn't to say that chewing tobacco is any better, because chewing tobacco, the way it goes into your body, is what causes the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because it soaks through your gums and stuff, it gives you gum disease, and some people even get cancer in their mouth because of how it gets absorbed.
Yeah, tobacco's not good for you.
Tobacco in general is just bad for you to be ingested in any way.
Yeah. The thing is, yeah,
there's nothing really that good about it. Now there are vape juices, if you like it, that are tobacco flavored, that don't have tobacco in them.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, you can have something that tastes good without it being bad for you. Did you know that?
Well, I don't think tobacco tastes good.
Well, if you think it tastes good, it could actually be okay for you to have.
Yeah.
The biggest thing with vaping, though, is that there's no combustion. It vaporizes the liquid and the e-juice and all that into vapor. Like, essentially, a vape is basically like having hot water going and breathing in the steam, except the steam in this case is flavored juice.
Yeah. But also,
without sugar.
Yeah, it doesn't leave like a residue behind. Right?
Yeah, it doesn't actually leave anything behind in your lungs or anything.
The thing is, lots of people have a misconception about vaping because it used to leave the residue in your
The first about year and a half to 2 years that vapes were released, it was just a vapor. That's all it was. And so, when you breathe it in, you would leave liquid in your lungs, and that would actually cause pneumonia and stuff, which could actually kill you. But right now, the way it's developed is it's actually made to absorb liquid. So any of the juice, if you actually go vaping and you vape for a long enough period of time, you'll get a dry mouth and a dry throat. because that's what it does. It dries it out. And so that way it prevents that from happening. Not only does it keep it from causing it, it actually helps prevent it, which is actually probably good for you.
Yeah, you just have to drink some water.
Yeah, just if you're dry throat, drink some water because that's healthy for you too. I mean, that's not really a downside there.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyways, lots of people they just have these false kind of beliefs about this topic. So we're just kind of like shedding some light on it, I guess.
Yeah, I think
we actually done some research.
Well, yeah, we've done research and stuff in it. Like people say popcorn lung, for example. Diacetyl is what causes popcorn lung. That is not a lie. It's 100% true. Diacetyl does cause popcorn lung. But the only 3 cases where people had popcorn lung was when in an unventilated popcorn factory where the diacetyl was so concentrated in the air that you could practically taste it.
Yeah. But yeah, there's no scientific...
That is not the case in cigarettes. Cigarettes don't have that much diacetyl in them, and vapes have about 1% of the diacetyl that's in a cigarette.
Yeah. So I think the thing is, like, what happened was there was studies showing that
diacetyl causes popcorn lung.
Yeah, and that the cigarettes and vape.
No, they didn't. You'll never find an article that talks about cigarettes having diacetyl.
Oh, really?
Because all the research is funded by the companies that are making money on the tobacco.
Oh, so it's just the vape.
So any of the research companies and everything, they're paid to research things that are bad with vaping.
There are some
and they're not.
research that
Most of them are not supposed to compare with cigarettes.
Yeah.
And the big reason that is because any of them that make money on cigarettes don't want that business to go down.
Yeah.
So if all the studies showed vaping has 1% of the popcorn lung effect that smoking does, people wouldn't smoke anymore.
Yeah.
And that would be really bad for some people's business.
There's
so now
there's no cases of people getting popcorn
no one has
lung
ever gotten popcorn lung from anything but the 3 in the popcorn factory with concentrated diacetyl in the air. That's the only case in human history known that people had popcorn lung. But it might happen, you know. You never know. If you were to just like hook up a vape to your body and do it nonstop, in about 50 years, you might get popcorn lung.
Yeah, like I think basically what the study was...
But the regular use, you're not going to get it.
Yeah, was like technically there's this chemical in the vape juice, and that chemical potentially can cause popcorn lung. Yeah. But it's such a small amount that's never going to happen. Like the chances of that happening are like...
You're more likely to get eaten by a shark when you're not at the beach.
Yeah, basically.
And that's not even an exaggeration. It's more likely to get eaten by a shark at an aquarium.
Yeah.
Like at a one of those places. I was about to say museum, but that's not right.
You're more likely to be eaten by a dead shark.
But no, like it's more common to be eaten by sharks that are in contained areas than it is to get popcorn lung. And that's saying something.
Well, it's probably more likely to get hit by a meteor.
Actually, I don't know about that. I don't know if there's anybody that's ever been hit by a meteor before.
Actually, no. The only, I think in the last, at least maybe 50, 100 years, the only thing that's been hit by meteor, the only living thing, was a cow, and it killed the cow. And then what happened was the person didn't know it was a meteor, but they found the rock beside it, and they used it as a doorstop for 10 years, and then a doctor came over one time. This is all alleged. There's actually a certificate with the stone to say this happened. Yeah. So it's technically true, but it's yeah. Anyways, so basically, it's really expensive. It's worth thousands of dollars because it hit the cow, it killed it, and it's meteor. So yeah, but that's the only case that it's killed anything in the last
yeah.
Yeah.
But the people that had popcorn lung didn't even die.
No. So
they had popcorn lung, and it was really bad for them. Yes, but it didn't kill them.
Yeah.
Here's the next thing I want to go over. Nicotine isn't toxic. It's not bad for you. Well, no, that's not true.
Well, it's...
Sorry. A large dosage of it will not kill you. It'll make you sick.
Yeah.
If I drink a bottle of 6 milligram juice, which is 6 milligrams of nicotine inside 100 milliliters of juice. So it's a 6% mix. That will make me sick if I drink the whole bottle.
Yeah.
I'll be puking. I'll be on the shitter all day. Within the next couple days, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
It's not like it's obviously it's not like
it's not
healthy
good.
for
Goodness,
you.
it's really bad.
It's not.
But
it's
like,
not going to kill you or shorten your life or anything like that.
It's like getting food poisoning.
Yeah, it's not like obviously. Yeah, it's not good for you. Your body gets rid of it. But
food poisoning is really bad, but it's not like, oh my god, I can't eat any foreign food or any kind of chicken that isn't perfect because I might get food poisoning. It's just whatever.
Yeah, it is.
If you get it, you get it. It's not the end of the world. You'll be fine.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not. It's really not. Like, let's be real here. The only reason nicotine is in cigarettes is like literally to make them addictive.
Yeah, that's the only reason they're in cigarettes, and they're in vaping because it helps people to get that fix without smoking.
Yeah. So that's really what it is. But
oh yeah, and then. And one of the great things about vaping is all the different stuff you can get. So there's a brand, 12 Monkeys, and they actually have to change their logo soon because you're not allowed to have animals on your prints and stuff. They actually shouldn't have done that. One of their advertisements uses an actual live monkey in the picture, so they're going to get a bunch of shit for that. But their juice is good.
Yeah.
Because what they did with it, or with some of them, what they did is they make the flavors change with the inhale and the exhale.
Oh, that's...
So you can inhale one of them, the Matata, you inhale grape, and you exhale apple flavor.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
And it's like, it's really interesting that there's so much you can do with these that even if you're like into smoking and stuff, if you start getting into vaping, like there's so much more to it, it can become like a cool thing that you have a hobby about. Like, oh, I just like checking out this or checking out that. You can get RDAs. You can build your own deck, which means that you can just like, you can work away at it. It doesn't cost much to use an RDA, which, by the way, is known as a rebuildable dripper atomizer. An atomizer is what goes on top of the mod, which is the base piece of the vape. And basically the way it works is that the atomizer is what makes it into vapor.
Yeah.
A dripping atomizer basically means that the coils that are used to heat up the juice are open, and so you drip the juice onto the coils.
Yeah, the atomizer, it's basically like a component of the tank, right? Like it's
the atomizer. Well, a tank is a kind of atomizer.
Yeah, but like, isn't it like, so like?
But an RDA is an atomizer as well, and it's not a tank.
Oh, okay.
Tanks are the simplest way to use them because you basically just fill up the tank, and it has a coil in it, pre-built already, and you just put the juice in, you go.
But but that's, oh, okay, I see. So it is like, so it can be like a component of it then.
It is in itself, it's like a whole other thing, like separate from the actual.
Okay.
One of the big things I wanted to talk about when we did the vaping podcast was all the different kinds of mods and stuff too. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to get into too much if anyone's watching and they're not into vaping and they're smoking.
We could have a separate, we'll probably have a separate thing going more into.
You know what? We actually might just do our next podcast. That's what we'll do on our next one. We'll touch on that a little bit as well.
Yeah.
The different kinds of vapes and the different juices and the different everything.
Yeah. Because
there's really cool different systems and they work really differently. But I'll throw this in this one anyways. We now sell the V-Leaf. If anyone's interested in smoking a little bit of pot, we've got the V-Leaf. The V-Leaf is one of the...
If you're in Canada and you're over 19 and you want to do it legally.
Yeah, you can do it legally now. So why wouldn't you get an atomizer? A vaporizer for it. The V-Leaf vaporizer is a true vaporizer. It's one of the best that we have at our store. We have had no bad reviews so far. No troubles with it. The only reviews we have is positive. It's very simple. You put the weed in the top, you close the cap, you turn it on, you press the button, and you vape it. Yeah. But since it's a true vaporizer instead of one of the other ones, they call the other ones vapes, but they burn the leaf on the coil still, or the bud on the coil still. So it still burns, and it still gives you those cancer-causing agents. Whereas if you get the V-Leaf true vaporizer, what that does is that actually heats up the bud so much that it actually dries out all of the bud and turns all of the liquid inside of it, all the oils, into vapor. So you still get really good high. It's smooth. It's easy. If you have a bong, if you really like using a bong, it has a bong attachment. You can hook it up to your bong if you want to. It's a great product. If you get the, it's really cheap too. It's only $60 for the whole setup. The other one we have is $180, a little more expensive. It's the other one, because the first one is only a dry herb. This one is a dry herb and oil one. You can do both, okay? But it gets better because it also comes with a grinder that attaches to the top of the atomizer. Which then means that not only do you have a grinder, you have a grinder that you can directly get your weed into the system. It works really well. It's awesome. It comes with a lot of attachments. You can get different mouthpieces for it. You can get different filters and stuff for it. It's really beautiful and it's really smooth. And that one, I believe, also has another bong attachment as well. So both of them you can hook up to your bong if you got a bong you want to use them on. And they're just... We haven't had bad reviews. I haven't used one yet. I might have to try it one of these days, but it seems like the best product that we have right now.
The thing is, you might as well give it a go because if you do like it,
it's healthy.
It's way healthier for you, right? Because one of the worst parts about smoking weed is the burning. The burning, right? So if you can eliminate that process, at least you're getting rid of one of the bad health kind of.
The cannabis itself may not actually be harmful,
especially if you do it in like a small amounts. Like if you do it responsibly and you don't overdo it.
Well, no. The thing is, what I was going to go with though, that I was going to say was that cannabis itself is not actually bad for you.
No.
But the burning of it is what makes it bad.
Yeah. Well, obviously, marijuana is has some negative things.
Yes.
If you do it too much, obviously you're gonna fry your brain. But
I think that's with everything. Everything you do too much. I think everything should be used in moderation. Especially things like that.
Yeah. If you do it if you're smart about it, and then you eliminate that that risk, the smoke part, then it's actually not.
Yeah, because when you take out the part about it being burnt, it eliminates all the cancer-causing agents that would have been in it.
Yeah, which is probably one of the worst parts for probably.
That is definitely one of the worst parts.
Yeah,
because the use of the cannabis is not what makes it bad. It's how much you use it and if you burn it, because burning will give you cancer.
Yeah.
So you should definitely, anyone that smokes a lot, come in, try it. Well, no, you can't try it before you buy it because we're not allowed to smoke in the store.
Well, if we could
vape,
you can vape in it, but
you can use the vapes. You can try out vapes in the store. You can't try the marijuana vaporizer.
Yeah, because
you can't smoke weed in a public store.
Yeah,
that's not a thing you're allowed to do. If we could, I'd let you. I mean, but we can't, so I'm not going to.
But they're not that expensive.
No, they're $60. The only one until that one came out, the only ones you just wouldn't find them under $100.
Yeah. So
it's pretty much the most reasonable price for the product you're getting. You won't find one.
And $60 is not a lot. You might as well
It's not a lot for the best weed product you're gonna get for a long time.
Yeah, if you do end up not liking it, like James said, they've had no bad reviews. People love them. But if you end up not finding it,
you can also sell it.
Yeah,
too.
You can sell it. People will.
Lots of people smoke. You're not going to have trouble selling something like that. That should be
especially
easy to sell.
If you're a pothead, you'll have enough friends where someone's going to want it. So
no, it's definitely worth trying out. It's a lot healthier. You might as well. You can still get high off it real easy. In fact, I bet you. I don't know 100%, but I think the vape, since it only vaporizes the juices and none of the actual burning effect, it might get you high faster. I don't know.
You have to look into that.
I'd have to look into it.
But that would.
You can also do batch in it as well. I mean, batch isn't good for you. I wouldn't recommend it. But you can.
It's terrible for you. But you
can do it as well because it is a drier.
Yeah.
Burner. Now it won't do it the same.
Yeah.
As when you burn it, it's a little different.
Yeah.
But it is still a thing if you wanted to.
But we don't.
And once again, it does still have the option of hooking up to your bong or.
Yeah. No,
which is super cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't recommend
because then
it's pretty bad for you.
Because the vaporizer, even if you find that's too harsh, hook it up to your bong, and it's awesome. It's amazing.
Yeah. Stick to green peas, people.
Also, I thought I'd just let you guys say something. Side note.
Is that dirty?
I don't know. I just thought I'd let you know. Now that weed is legal in Canada, I was talking about it the other day. There are laws about how many you can have in your house. You can have up to 4 in each household.
Oh,
you may have
marijuana plants.
Marijuana plants.
Yeah.
You may have up to 4 in your household. You may also have, ready for this? They can only be 4 feet tall. Would you like to know something interesting?
James, I would like to know something.
There's not a square footage limit. If you trim them to stay low and you grow them like a vine, you can grow them as big as you want to.
You can literally
so
have
if you find those 4 plants aren't big
full.
enough, trim them out. You could make them 10 feet wide.
Yeah.
1 plant, and that's legal.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll kind of change it soon enough.
So
I would definitely get ahead of the game and get some done now. But you could definitely do it if you want to get it ahead. You could have a shit ton of weed built up, dude.
You literally
because you could have 30 grams right now on you in public places, but you can have as much as you want in your own house.
Yeah, which literally you can have a whole like green room just.
You could literally,
and you like never would run out of.
You would literally be able to build up enough. You could literally have a ton in your house.
Yeah.
Like quite literally a ton. That's another player driver. That's why. So like, take advantage of it, man. If you're growing, man.
Yeah, if you're into that thing.
Like, I'm not interested in growing. It's too much work for me. I'll buy my weed.
Yeah, I don't smoke personally, but
yet.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, if I would start doing anything, it would probably be vaping.
Oh
Let's be honest here. But
the vaping with the zero nic too isn't bad for you. Like there's no studies right now that can. There's no studies. It's not just no studies that prove it. There's no studies that show any evidence of vaping being dangerous. It's not like, oh look, it can't prove it, even though it's really obvious that it has something to do with it. It's like no. There's not even a little bit of evidence that shows.
Yes, there's much
that it's
more.
Bad for you.
There's much more evidence concluding that it won't have any.
Well, there's like a shit ton of evidence that says, hey, look, this helps people stop smoking. It does not lead people to use tobacco. It does not get people addicted to nicotine to the level of which they need to smoke.
Yeah. So there's
most people that start vaping don't stop vaping, and they don't start using other products. They only vape.
Yeah, which is much better than the alternative.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not saying there's an alternative because we can't compare things. But
well, no. If I was at work, I wouldn't be allowed to say some of the stuff I've said.
Yeah.
Because technically, we're not legally allowed to advertise that the vaping is better than the cigarettes because that's a medical opinion, and we're not medically allowed to say that. Mind you, that is only in place because the big tobacco companies don't want people to know how much better it is for you. Because they make money on you not knowing.
Yes.
Well, clearly. But honestly, definitely come into town. I'm working later this week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Come in, I'll talk to you. If you tell me that you listen to my podcast, I'll give you, well, I can't give you a better deal, I'm not in charge. But I will treat you with the best treatment. I will show you everything. I can give you the rundown on all the juices we have, all the vapes. I can recommend stuff. I can give you the inside scoop on which mods are definitely more worth buying. Like, yeah. I will treat you well. I mean, I'll do that anyways if you don't tell me you're on the podcast. But I just love to meet someone that listens to the podcast and be like, hey, I like your stuff. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, that'd be awesome.
He's not saying that he treats people differently.
No, I don't treat anyone differently because they listen to my podcast. I just think it'd be cool to meet people that listen to my podcast.
That would be cool.
So, like, if anyone listens to my podcast, come into Dragon Vape and Fergus later this week, and I'll say hi.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, hey, how you doing? And you'll be like, hey, I listen to Fiddle Me This. And I'll be like, oh my gosh, are you kidding?
I love that show.
You know what's crazy? I think I get more hype than a fan would if I met a fan.
That's true. I mean,
it's like a fan would be like, oh my gosh, dude, I love your podcast. And I'd be like, holy crap, you listen to my podcast. This is the best.
Yeah.
But like, actually, I think I'd probably get like super excited just to meet someone that listens to our podcast.
James. Yeah, I would. Yeah, that would be pretty sweet. I think like we don't have a lot of.
No, we have a very small audience right now.
Yeah, like we don't have a lot of content up either.
Very
but
small.
But yeah, you never know.
But yeah, if you do listen, come on in.
Yeah.
If you're under 19, don't come in. I'm not allowed to let you in. Yeah. And I won't let you in because...
Well, I mean, you can walk in, but then they have to kick you out.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to let you stay in.
Like, they don't ID at the door, but once you
actually,
walk
no,
in...
we do.
Oh, you do?
If someone comes into the store and they look under 25, I have to ask them before I even talk to them, hey...
No, I know, but I mean, like, as you're walking... Like, you walk in...
Oh, yeah, you can walk in and say, hey, I'll listen to your podcast, and I can say, hey, give me your ID. And you'll go, I'm not 19. And I said, get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out of my fucking...
But I'll be really happy. I'll come out onto the sidewalk and I'll say, hey, what's going on? And I'll talk to you, maybe. If I'm not busy with other customers.
Yeah.
But, like, I'd love to talk to you guys. So, like, totally come by. It'd be awesome. And we love the publicity. We love the business. We're trying to get some more business in. I want to get... If I get more business, I get more hours.
Yeah.
And if we... Luke, in the future, I mean, this is far off in the future, I think.
Yeah.
He wants to open more stores.
Yeah.
But we need to get this one running real good. So if you really feel like you need to support the industry and support your good friends at Fiddle Me This Podcast, then come down to Dragon Vape.
Also, if you need any windows cocked...
Josh is a cocker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's as bad as it sounds. Don't worry.
It's not that bad.
Fuck right off. It's definitely as bad as it sounds.
Why? I make my own house.
I cook my own house. I put all the cooking everywhere in the house. The cooking is so cocky.
Stop. It's me.
I perfectly cock the cooking.
Perfectly cock the windows. You don't cock the cocking.
Oh, fuck off.
No.
It's close enough.
It's not.
Anyways.
That would be really bad because then you'd just be cocking right over it and you wouldn't replace it. We don't do that. That's not good quality. We care about quality.
Anyways, forget Josh's business. He makes enough money already.
Yeah, but I like...
But if you want to come support someone that's trying to make a difference, trying to help the community to get rid of the smokers and make a much healthier Center Wellington and a much safer place for young people to try things. Mm-hmm. Because the truth is, I mean, I'm not going to say that you should start using nicotine, but if young people wanted to start vaping, it's not that bad.
The thing is...
It's much better than them starting to use cigarettes or cigars.
The people that are going to...
tobacco.
The people that are going to start doing that, it's like they're looking for something, obviously. So it's better for them to pick that than the alternative. Like, you might... like
because people that age, people in high school and stuff like that, they're going to start something.
Because, you know what? If you take away vaping... And you're just like, well, we're going to take rid of it. So, like, there's not that risk there.
What's left then?
Yeah, what's...
Cigarettes and... What's next?
Marijuana.
That's right.
Cocaine.
Cocaine has actually been coming back in the past couple of years. It's become huge in a lot more of the younger party scenes.
Yeah, Xans. Xans are big. They're really bad for you. Don't do Xans.
Xans, what is that again?
It's... Oh, no, it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, but what is it again?
It's just drug. I don't know what the official thing is. I don't know.
Oh.
It's just like, you know, like rappers always talk about it. It's like, just did a Xan and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, by the way, don't do DMT as well. That'll fuck your shit up. DMT is the dream drug. That's what you do. That's what you get flooded into your body by your brain when you die. Okay?
Yeah, people stick to...
People that are on that kind of stuff experience hallucinations to the point in which... I was talking to one of my relatives, my mom's cousin, just the other day. And they were with one of their friends when they were high on that. They literally handed them their lighter and they said, here, you could take what's left of my lighter. It just melted in my hands. The lighter did not melt in their freaking hands. They're just really doped up.
Yeah.
So, like, stay off that stuff. It'll really mess with you.
You know what? Don't...
Just get a vape.
Why don't you just try
Just get a fucking vape.
Just try not to do things like that, man. Just...
Vapes are safer. Vapes are easier. Vapes can be customized. You can get cool looking ones. You can rig them up yourself. You can do homemade ones. I would not recommend homemade mods, though, because those have a tendency to blow up.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But if you want to make your own
tanks
fucking
are cool.
go for it.
That's pretty cool, actually. You can do a lot of
Homemade
shit.
tanks are really cool. Homemade juice, it's weird. I don't know many people that are into it, but, you know, each their own.
I'm sure,
if you
like,
really
some
were into
people
it, yeah,
like
go
it
for
more,
it.
right? Some people like...
Some people love making their own juice.
Yeah.
And for them, it's great.
Yeah, also, it's really cheap.
It's super cheap, but it's a lot of work, too.
Yeah, but, like, if you make your own tank and your own juice, you only spend, like, what? Not even, like...
If you get a good mod, like a good mod,
Yeah.
like mine, like you spend $90 on the mod.
And then
$90 for the whole year using juice that you make yourself, and pennies on the tank.
Yeah, like to make a tank, if you're making it by
well,
yourself,
making
it's
the coils,
literally like
the cotton is the only most expensive part, and that's pretty cheap. Like, it's real cheap.
Basically, like,
and you use a tiny bit of cotton when you use it. The coils you make out of wire, I can get a spool of like 30 feet of wire for like $5.
Yeah,
and you use like 1 foot max for the whole setup, and they take like over probably a year. You probably run those coils for upward of 6 months at least.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll change the cottons, but the coils will stay there upwards of 6 months at least. Depends on how you use it. Like,
regardless, it's much cheaper than smoking. Like, 1 pack of cigarettes is $10 to $20. Like, unless you buy it in like bulk, but then it's still like
$10 to $20 for 1 pack of cigarettes. And let's say that goes, you use that for a day. We have a system right now. You can buy the Bow Pod system.
It'd be more than a day.
Some people, they burn through a pack a day.
Yeah, well, that's really bad though.
So let's say half a pack a day. That goes through 2 days. Okay.
Yeah.
We have a Bow Pod system. It's $35. It comes with, I think, 2 pods.
Mm-hmm.
And the 2 pods will last you a week at least, if not more. And then the refills for the pods, for 3 pods, is $20.
Yeah.
So just under $7 a pod.
Well, actually, we could ask Andre
more than
how
a
long
pack.
it lasts.
The pod system?
No, she smokes. Oh, she didn't.
Anyways, like, I haven't talked to a lot of people that have used the Bow Pod systems yet that have been smoking. I know somebody I'm trying to see about getting them onto it because I want to see, and they'll probably want to quit smoking anyways.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
like,
it still
honestly,
costs money, but it's cheaper
still
than
cost
smoking.
something, but it's significantly cheaper. My boss right now, last time I was talking to him just yesterday, he says since he started vaping about 8 years ago, he saved almost $19,000. That's a lot. In 10 years, you're sitting around 21 grand. Like, you could buy a new car with all the money that you save in vaping, and you're still getting the nicotine, and you're still vaping. Like, it's not like, oh, if I don't smoke, then I'll just spend it on something else. You are spending it on something else, but you're spending it and you're getting it cheaper.
Mm.
It's definitely worth looking into and worth trying out. Like, anyone that smokes, anyone that's listening to the podcast that smokes, go for it. Every time I see someone smoking, I go out and I go, hey, by the way, have you tried this? We have a system. It works really well. It's super cheap. And it's definitely something you're going to like. We've got some that even taste exactly like cigarettes, if you're really into that. They come in like 10 different flavors. Mm. So you can try all the cool different things. It's awesome. We got like espresso ones, different coffee, like everything. It's amazing. So that's what we got for vaping in this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and come back next week. I guess probably next week, yeah.
Also, we're gonna we should make maybe, I don't know, maybe we should make like a Twitter account like for the podcast that people. Oh,
I have it.
Okay, so what is it? Because plug it, and then you can message us there.
Yes.
If you have any questions, or if you want to ask us, or even like, if you want to like challenge us on our opinions and our.
Oh goodness, yeah, I would love it if somebody.
We thrive on debates.
I don't want to be like mean or anything, but I love it when somebody comes to me and says, "This is what I think," and I go, "Okay, why do you think that?" And we can talk about it. Now, if you say something, you have a valid reason, and it has to do with like, oh well, this scientifically works out or this logically works out. I will be okay with that. I'm okay with being wrong about these things.
That's the fucking deal.
But something like diacetyl, where there's no evidence to support it, I'm not going to be wrong with it.
Yeah.
I know. But like, I like to learn new things. It's really awesome. And it's just a really beautiful system. So let me pull it up here. Our Twitter handle is @me_fiddle. The Fiddle Me This podcast is the name, and that is our Twitter. We have a Facebook page. Pretty hard to find though, because Facebook's really stupid. I'll put a link in the description, okay?
Yeah.
I'll put a link in the description to that, as well to our Twitter page. And I don't have an Instagram page yet, but we're gonna get one soon.
Yeah, we'll post like pictures and shit on there.
Pictures and shit of whatever.
Who knows?
Set up our vapes.
It might be might be more like a not like a spam, but kind of kind of things that we're interested in, like both of us, like collectively. So like might like post stuff about like I don't know, just random shit. That
like,
we're,
Josh's Slave 1 Star Wars Lego set,
like,
which is super cool.
It is very cool.
We might
actually
throw that
that's
on there.
that's a pretty cool set. I might put.
Yeah, like we'd put stuff like that on our Instagram, like just random cool things that we think are
like
awesome.
we're kind of,
or like something that we are like, hey, we're hanging out, let's get a selfie picture or something like that.
Yeah, like what it's just gonna be. We might like have a little kind of spam, but like it won't be like just random like
and
shit.
We're not just gonna be posting like all the frickin' time. We're not.
Yeah, it's just like really like kind of like random stuff that we
every
think
so
is
often
cool.
We're like, hey, let's throw that on Instagram, and we will.
But yeah, if you want to message us on like really any of those platforms, you can do that, and you can ask us questions. You can give us suggestions too, because we want to know. This is like we're just starting out, right? Like we don't know exactly what we're doing. We're just trying stuff out. We're like learning.
If you want to message me personally, look up James Stewart on Facebook. And I got a beautiful picture of standing in front of the ocean with my hands up as if I'm gloriously standing in the wind.
Yeah.
It's actually an old picture, but I still think it's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, we might attach our like like our personal accounts too. Like I might put mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, if you have any questions or suggestions, or you just want to like debate something you think like we were wrong for some reason, then feel free to do that, and we will answer you. We'll respond to you.
Oh yeah, goodness.
And we won't just be mean and criticize you.
No,
like,
I will talk to you.
We'll
here's the thing: if we find someone that's really good at having like a really strong opinion against us,
yeah,
we'll have you on the podcast.
The thing is, like, yeah, we don't mind criticism. Like, if you're intelligent enough to like have a
reason that makes sense.
If you have a reason and we can have like a civil discussion about it, then
you're not going to get on the podcast.
Yeah, we don't want emotional people.
Well, we also don't want. Well, it's not just emotional. I think the big thing is like stuff like, again, to the diacetyls. It's a good example for this.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to just say vaping is bad because diacetyl causes popcorn lung, and then I tell you, yeah, but there's not enough to cause that, and you go, yeah, but it still does.
Okay, well
you're not giving me any arguments.
Yeah, like we need.
I want you to give me something that we can discuss back and forth, and I can give you my opinion, you can give me yours, and we can actually talk about it.
Yeah, but what I mean about what I mean about the emotional thing is like when people get emotional about a subject, they start to kind of
get aggressive.
Well, they neglect reason and facts, and
that is true.
And we don't want that because that's just not something that we really want to have on here.
There are people that'll be like, oh well, I feel like well, we talked about abortion in the first episode, and they say abortion is killing someone. That's how I feel. That's okay. You can have that opinion. We're not saying that's invalid, but we're saying we can't really have a discussion about it because it's an opinion.
Yeah, like
if it's based in fact, we'll talk to you.
Yeah, like
but
the
if
thing
all it is I feel, I think, then.
Well, the thing is, some of the things we talk about are opinions. Like there are opinions on things,
but they are based in some amount of fact.
But they're based in some amount of fact. And if you have an opinion, like you can talk about it. But we don't want you to be all like emotional about it. Not like. You can have an opinion and still. I'm sorry. You can have an opinion and not be emotional about it.
Yeah.
But like, not saying that we're like completely.
But
like, obviously that happens. Everyone
talk to us. Let us know what you want. We're gonna do our absolute best to give you what we can give you. So let us know what you kind of want us to talk about, because we'd love to talk about different topics. Hey guys, sorry about the quick interruption. We had a little bit of a problem there. We just had a little bit of a technical difficulty, but we're back now. And what were we just talking about?
Oh, we were just talking about our opinions. We left off with oppression and stuff like that. Like
we'll have to
the thing is, in certain if you go to countries like Egypt and stuff, women are actually oppressed there. Like they're actually treated like differently. But like when
hold on.
Have you been to Egypt?
I know what you're saying.
Fari's sister just went to Egypt. She almost got kidnapped.
There's one oppression that we can talk about that's like serious oppression like that, but there's also the it's not oppression necessarily, but we can also view that as I don't know what to call it, but we can find another term for that.
Yeah, but anyways, we'll talk about this in a different video. But we'll go more in depth.
Yeah, but talk to us though. Give us feedback. If you are good to talk about this stuff and you're not going to be a problem when we talk about it, we want to talk to you.
Yeah.
If we really like you and we really enjoy talking to you, hanging out, we might even have you on the podcast.
You never know.
Well, yeah, I guess you don't.
That's a risk you're gonna have to take.
Da-da-da-da.
I feel like if you offend us, we might just like invite you on just because.
That is true. We might just bring you on if you offend us, just for the sake of having a talk.
Okay.
So, thanks guys for joining us. See you next week. We're going to be talking about a couple other things, and I really hope that you can all give us a good amount of feedback, and I hope that you enjoy the podcast. Thanks, and